Greetings everyone, this is me again, Zara Berserk. I had some problems last time on my live stream. Connection, internet, Wi-Fi connection. Problem. Okay, I'm still stuck on Surah Baqarah Ayat 187. I cannot believe what this is. And whatever this is, why? Because of this change of law. And they are your clothing, like without them you are naked. So please help me. Oh, maybe this social media, I come here, maybe I'll uh, talking, find out discussing and showing this. It will help me coming out with it, speaking about it, spreading, sharing my shock. So here we go. I'm not good at talking. I'm not prepared for this, but what I'm prepared for is coming here. So the Shia side is whether it was polytheism in the beginning, cohabitation between man and. You see, now it depends. You have been so indoctrinated, thanks to that great shining lady, Yasmin Muhammad, from their interview, listening. See, I learn words and all. So instead of saying being bigots or dogmatic, you are so indoctrinated that you can't see that this is wrong uh, or right. Even I, so even I'm confused at this moment. But let's see, when there is something against the polytheism, like they used to adopt the sons as and make them the real sons, it's like so crude. Why is it crude? It's the best thing to do. It's your heart and your sincerity, your thing in taking someone else's son, an orphan or someone, and making it your own son. God gives you that thing. Here it seems whether to blame Muslims who according to the Shia, that there was some caliph, the future second caliph. They wouldn't even name it because, the Sunnis would come after the Shias on this. Couldn't name him. And some other companions confessed to the Holy Prophet that they had transgressed this prohibition. So I haven't read Tafsir Baydawi, but if you have that Baydawi of Tafsir Baydawi, then you can read that. So, but so if this was a pagan idol worshipping way of fasting, then what's wrong in that? Not now. You see, there was nothing wrong in that until some of them started to say that we could not follow, restrain ourselves. So they deceived themselves. That this ayat is accepting that they were unfaithful to themselves, not to the law, but to themselves. Not to the law, command of. See, they can't even put it properly. Because if I say the command of Allah, here we go. Salahuddin, welcome. Salam, sister. Have God love as always, inshallah. Thank you so much. So, Salahuddin, you are alaikum assalam. Sorry to say that you are indoctrinated with this and you are being dishonest to yourself. The day you become honest, you will leave this religion for your own good. It doesn't affect me. I don't want, it's not that I'm with ex-Muslims, grouping with them. You can see I'm with no one. I'm alone here. But it's good to see there are many ex-Muslims out there. And they have a great many followers on, if they're using the social media channels, YouTube and all this. Only I don't have so many followers. And I'm stuck with you here, who is dishonest. You wouldn't even see the contradictions in Surah Mujadila verse 2 and Surah Azab verse 6 about the Prophet's wives being mothers now. God has made them mothers of the believers, Muslim believers. So you try to wiggle your way out of it. Every contradiction in the Quran. That is not good for my health. But yet you come here, you send salam, which means peace, and you send God's love. But you know, God's love is only for the believers. It's not even for your parents if they choose, your relatives. I don't know if the mother is included, but the father definitely is mentioned in Surah Tawbah ayat. Love him more than your mother and father also, parents and all, father. So that ayat and all, if you don't, then you are defiantly disobedient, defiantly being disobedient. But here, because it was a pagan fasting, according to the Sunni tafsir, you're not being defiantly disobedient by being unfaithful to yourselves. So brother, also see that how many women, Muslim women, their rights have been curbed. The witness is not valid. How do you say it? Not accepted in the Islamic courts or things like that. So until what? Until there are two men and one woman, and one woman is half of man. This for you is okay. First you were blaming me that, oh, you're saying rape, on violent verses I was showing that they should not stop themselves. You know what happens in rape cases in Pakistan? A woman is scared, a girl, even if she's raped, is scared to do for herself, to stand up for justice. In court, 4 witnesses are required. Who in their right mind would rape a woman or a girl in front of 4 people? Huh? So disregarding all those matters, human rights, women rights, hitting for discipline. Okay, first you talk to them. This is also in India among the Hindu. Now don't divert my attention to India amongst the Hindus. That is not in their religion to hit women. What about the good thing about India is that Radha Rani and all that, they have feminine energy. They recognize it, they worship. So if this is in India, it must have come from the Mughals. So don't now divert my attention to India. Stick to this problem. We are ex-Muslims here. Go and listen to Adam al-Masri and Yasmin Muhammad. She's given such great reasons. You see, you dishonest Muslims, you do this. That is also in India among the Hindu. Not like this, that this is in your religion. Beat women when disciplining them. Where's that? Oh my God. And one witness? Is it in Hindu that a woman cannot be a full witness to a case or any case? Is that also in India among Hindus? Among Hindus, you say. I think you speak very good English. Tell me, the beating part you're saying is also in India. Is it in their religion to beat their wives? This is the way to discipline them. After, okay, there are conditions, but in the end, huh? And what about the witness thing? Is that in Hindus, among Hindus? Is it in the religion? Salahuddin, answer me here. Answer me now. Don't be dishonest. Don't bring Hinduism in here. There are Hindus to take care of this if there are things in Hinduism that is not right. I have to take care of my problem on my side, on me. Man and women are different biologically, and Islam recognized that. Salahuddin says. No, first you tell me, is in among the Hindus in India that a woman is half of man in witness, half of man in witnessing. First you tell me that. This is a lame excuse that man and women are different biologically, so if the man is more powerful, it doesn't mean, in fact, this is even worse, what you're saying. Because if the man is more powerful, strong, he should not be hitting the woman, the weaker one. He should not be raising his hand no matter what the woman does. He has the thing to stop her from hitting him. He has the power, more powerful. He's more powerful than the woman, right? So this is even worse for this ayat here. Surah Nisa ayat 34. This is unjust. Giving there certain conditions here. If you fear arrogance, what some translators say arrogance, some translators say disobedience to man. You have to see, yes, biological thing is different for sure, and some men are even stronger than some women, right? So men are supposed to be more gentle and never ever raise a hand on a woman, even if she abuses a man. Or raises her hand at a man, he can stop her or just let it be, but never raise a hand on her. She's more delicate. She could be harmed in a worse way. I mean, it could, there's worse in the Hindu scriptures, but you aren't aware. If there are worse things in the Hindu scripture, which Hindu scripture has worse things? And why are you bringing Hinduism here? No, there are no worse things in Hinduism. Tell me, in Hinduism, is a woman half of man in witness? Tell me that. What is worse in Hinduism? Huh? The caste system? Well, even God says here that I give to some more and less. So don't look at that. The caste system may be he's a businessman, he's a priest, he's a guru, right? So the Mughals came and changed it to God knows what, to their own liking and understanding. And even the Muslim Mughals, even you Muslims don't have one same thing about the Quran ayats. Sunnis have a different view, tafsir, Shias have a different tafsir. So I can see your dishonesty here, and you're wavering and you're deviating from Islam. If there are problems in Hinduism, let them deal with it. I was a Shia. I have a direct problem here. I have to deal with. Listen to what Yasin Muhammad has said. Her interview with Adam al-Masri. It really boils my blood that you are pointing at Hinduism and you don't see your own faults. It's like what Jesus Christ said. What is wrong with you, brother? You do not see the log in your eyes and you are pointing to your brother's eye. Oh, let me take out, brother, let me take out the speck from your eye. What? You are a hypocrite, according to Jesus, if we take that Bible verse, Gospel of Jesus. I mean, from the Gospel. You are a hypocrite, and I don't want hypocrites here. What hypocrisy is this? You have no shame? So I don't want to spend time with a hypocrite like you. You understand? I'm here. What is this? Muslims. What is this now? They are your clothing. This is the way. Without them, you are naked on the nights of Ramadan. Sorry, fasting. It says here. On the night of fast, you are naked. That's why I go. And then it says here that some of you were who? Some of you who? The polytheists, the Muslims, who? Obscure, not clear. And then you blame the polytheists and like Salahuddin, like his Prophet Muhammad and his Allah, blame polytheists. When they have such restraint that they could, for a month, not even go towards their women. Women, perhaps their zoja, but here women is used. You have slave girls, you have what your right hands possess. So now the Muslims can't say that, oh, adopted son there in Surah Azab, Zara, it's not adopted son, it's a crude practice, what the polytheists used to do, like call their wives, how they used to divorce by calling them zihar, the backs of their mothers. It's a crude practice. This also is unreasonable to adopt a son. Give him your inheritance, also he gets, and also take him as your own son. This is wrong. And here, you can't say that God changed the law because it was unreasonable, unhealthy for men not to go to the women on the night of fasting or during the fasting nights. So, what shall we do with Muslims like you, Salahuddin? Huh? I can see you are a hypocrite and you're deviating and you're trying to waver my attention to Hindus. Why should I go to the Hindus right now when I'm on this? This is my problem. Jesus Christ says, to think not of tomorrow, worry not, because today is enough. Today is enough. So if you're going to say this religion has problems, that religion has it's the same, or it's worse. No, it's not worse. And another thing is that you concentrate on your religion here. This is the worst ever. The devil of devils. First, we need to see this, recognize it, that this is the devil of devils. Do you see here in this ayat how he's tried to change the polytheistic way of fasting according to Sunni tafsirs by saying that some of you deceived yourselves. So God changed it and now has permitted you to go to your women. Do you see here? Sorry, I've been on Nisa. So Nisa, it says beat your wives. But if they obey you once more, seek no means against them. But here, this is a very clever person. See, on one hand, he's given like the men are going to think that women should be obedient to us. But how about the men being obedient to women? You see, there's no thing about men being obedient. Men are in charge of women. What about Hazrat Khadija when she employed Prophet Muhammad? He was working under her, getting salary, right? She was a businesswoman, in pagan times. Now he's made men in charge of women. He's changed the law. Again, wherever he changes the law, he himself was working for Khadija. Khadija had a very big business. She was a princess, rich, of Quraysh, pagans, the pagans. Now Allah has made men are in charge of women. What Allah has given one over the other, what they spend from their wealth. Khadija was a self-made or she got her inheritance from her father or something, a family business, but she used to work. She was a businesswoman. What was wrong in the father taking care of his family? What is wrong in the father? Where are you coming from? Did I say there's something wrong in the father taking care of his family? But there's also nothing wrong in the mother taking care of the family. Because Khadija did. Khadija, the wife of Prophet Muhammad, later on became. I'm talking about that. Salahuddin, if really hypocrisy and all this wavering and making excuses and jumping was a crime, you would be in jail. Nip it in the bud. There's nothing wrong in the father taking care of his family. Financially, or does he doesn't give that emotional support. But what is wrong is men are in charge of women. This is what is wrong here. Men have been made in charge of women. And they're supposed to be devoutly obedient. Righteous women are devoutly obedient. To whom? Not to Allah only. Not to Prophet Muhammad only. But now to the husbands also. And the men who are in charge of them. Devoutly obedient. What is wrong here is that men are made in charge of women. So don't put words in my mouth like this. What is wrong in the father taking care of his family? Taking care is something else. Putting in charge of your daughters, he's controlling their lives. He could kill them for honor. He could beat them. He could hit them. This is the problem. Taking care is something else. Caretaker is something else. Putting men in charge of women is something else. So men are the protectors, it says here. Some of your translations even, okay, men are the protectors of women because Allah has bestowed on some of them, others. But look at here, obedient. It means that men, protectors, you've put them in charge of these women. You see the word obedience here. Obedient. Righteous women are obedient, guarding in the unseen that which them to guard. Why can't men be obedient to women? Huh? I can bring the Hindu thing, for them, the wife is Lakshmi Devi. They're supposed to take the wife as Lakshmi Devi. And householder, Hindus, wife and husband. And the wife is supposed to take her husband as Deva, Lord. Both of them are supposed to bow to each other. The wife is the Lakshmi Devi. There's balance. You see, the moment you say women become obedient, of course your translators are going to put protectors, meaning in charge, maintainers, caretakers, because here you may be deceived by the caretaking of women. Men are caretakers of women, but it boils down to the righteous women are obedient. Obedient to whom? What a clever Allah it is. Oh, really, He's made. You can't have a company with multiple presidents. You can have, huh? So is the president supposed to control us and our lives? We don't have any freedom of speech? Or what? What is the president? Supposed to be the servant of the people, by the people. I mean, he's elected by the people. So what is a president supposed to be? Not that a woman is supposed to be a servant of her husband, obedient. That president is the servant of his people. You understand? So if you're given, the higher the status you're given, you're elected. This president is elected by the people, for the people. And he takes the rai, he takes the opinions of people. Administration is something else. He's administering the laws and all, but he should not be the ruler. The president is not the ruler to be obeyed by the citizens. He's the servant of the people. Without the people, he would not have become a president. He's supposed to listen to his people. You can't have a company with multiple presidents. You can have a company with multiple partners. My father he had Oil company. Shareholders, many. Okay, managing director one. He was a managing director at times. He used to go and visit. So that doesn't mean he goes there and obey me, otherwise, I will do this and that. Or the director of the company. This whole life is upside down. If they obey you, yeah, now it comes, right? Obey the man. You see, obey. Word is used, obey. However, caretakers, but what does the woman have to do? Females? Obey. Ata and what? This. Obey you. What a word to use. Live with them in accordance with what is fair and kind. If you dislike them, it may well be that you dislike something in which God has put much good. Surah Nisa, ayat 19. Live with them in accordance with what is fair and kind. Sorry, this ayat is another ayat. Surah Nisa, ayat 19. We are on Surah Nisa, ayat 34, where it says you have to obey the man. Now, this dislike, kindness, fair, live with them, is this a command? Live with them in accordance with what is fair and kind? Uh-huh. So, yes. Live with them in accordance with what is fair and kind. Okay, let's go to your ayat you have given. But don't forget this, right? Obey. You may think it's balanced, but it's not balanced. You see, under no circumstances can you bring a law like this. Obey the man. Okay? Because he is your provider. You know what it says in Surah Dhuha? No, in Surah Fajr. When you're giving money, don't think by, taunts and by you have the upper hand. When you're maintaining someone, what about in Surah Insan, Surah that smoke, Dukhan? We want no thanks from you. We want no thanks from you. What about that? So this verse is just superficial. Believers, it is not lawful for you to become heirs to women against their will. This is about the polities. They have to say something against the polytheists who used to do something to their women. Read the footnote. Read the tafsir. This is not about even rape, I was told. I read. When you compulsion, what is this about, The deceased man's heirs have no rights of marriage or otherwise over his widow. Sure to obey in love and kindness. It doesn't say obey in love. Love doesn't need that kind of obedience. Sure to obey in love and kindness. Acha, so the first part is not about rape. It just means footnote. It's your own Sunni tafsir here. Footnote. The deceased man's heirs have no rights of marriage or otherwise over his widow. And do not make difficulties for them in order to take back part of what you gave them. You see? Unless they commit a clear immorality, adultery, i.e., adultery, and live with them in kindness. Live with them in kindness. For if you dislike them, perhaps you dislike a thing. A thing. Are they things? And Allah makes therein much good. Okay. So why wasn't this applied to, why didn't Zainab bin Josh apply this for Zaid? If you perhaps dislike a thing, why didn't Prophet Muhammad go and tell Zainab bin Josh when she said, I'm a highborn? And during the marriage too. So if I don't catch this hypocrite in your way, the way you look at it, I will catch him in another way. Because it is very difficult to discern. Imam Ali himself says, the hypocrite, the one who deceives you. It is near to impossible at times. Why wasn't this applied to the Zainab and Zaid marriage case? Huh? Zainab, perhaps you dislike some things in your husband, but Allah makes therein much good. So don't divorce. Right? Allah brings about much good in your husband's head, from your husband. You see, a deceiver, it may take time, but he's not going to, you will not be able to defend a deceiver when I am here. I'm here now. I have known deceivers, hypocrites since childhood. You see, and he has used religion and Allah. This one is not going to get away from me. Obey? It doesn't say obey. If it said obey, then in Surah Tahrim, Prophet Muhammad, being a husband, could have obeyed his wives, right? Doesn't say obey your wives. Just be kind to them. If it said obey, then what the wives of Prophet Muhammad said, and then Allah, what does he say? When he said, okay. If it said obey your wives in kindness. No. It doesn't say obey your wives to men. O Prophet, why do you prohibit what Allah has made lawful for you? Seeking the approval of your wives. Seeking the approval of your wives. Does it say obey then? In Surah Nisa at 19? In love and kindness? He slept with Maria the Coptic in Hafsa's place, bed. Who is more open to lewdness? Despicable, unethical. Him. He is not of high moral character. So if you say obey in love and kindness. So why couldn't Prophet Muhammad prohibit himself, Maria the Coptic, when the wife Hafsa got really hysterical, seeing him doing ding dong, boom boom. No. It doesn't say obey. Even seeking to please your wives is not right if it goes against Allah's command. Right? and pleasing them. Now, where do you want to come from? Huh? That is his love for his family. The man is head of the family in Islam, as God is the head of the universe. Yes, it's a man's religion, not a woman's religion. You're making the man head of the family, head of the wife. No equality. Where is equality? Tell me. Quran, didn't the Quran say that they are equal? No, no, no. The Quran says that, I thought there was an ayat in the Quran. That's what I would have, as a Shia, man and women are equal. If there was no equality, I would have left this Islam long time ago then, if I didn't find this verse in the Quran as a Shia at one time. But the Quran, those who do good, whether male or female, and have faith will enter, even as much as, isn't equality? The Lord responded to them, I never fail to reward any worker among you for any work you do. You are equal to one another. Here, Surah Al Imran, verse 195. How can a man be head? If I didn't, thank God I remembered this as a Shia, 195. Surah Al Imran, verse 195, Quran. Here it says, whether male or female, each of you is from other. Oh, the translation I had was that both of you are equal. It's wrong then. And the Lord responded, never will I allow to be lost the work of any worker among you, whether male or female. You are one of another. So those who emigrate, I will surely remove. You are one of another. So you are equal, right? We aren't equal biologically. No, of course, not biologically, but through biological means, you can't make man a head of the family, right? Just because biologically you are different, it doesn't mean there should be inequality. The man should be the head. If biologically someone is different than you, this is not a reason why the man should be the head of the family or should be obeyed. Only the man should be obeyed and not the woman. Like the woman is to obey the man in certain circumstances. Sorry, it fails. Do you see how you are falling flat on your face? But you are too proud to accept it. Biological difference and rich and poor. What does God say about rich and poor? I've given more to someone and less to someone. But all of you are equal, right? The rich cannot be the head of the poor. The poor should obey the rich. God, who created us different, assigned to each his proper rule that suits his difference. Proper rule. No, they don't rule over us. Just because of biological difference, God, who created us different, assigned to each his proper rule. This means that we are not equal. You have to obey. That means a woman has to obey her husband. So then there's equality, right? In Islam. Then there's inequality, right? So by saying it's just superficial that all are equal, you are one of another. Like women isn't to fast when she's pregnant. Yeah, that's okay, but to give authority, like for example, would you say that the rich people have authority over the poor people? The rights could be curbed, they have to obey the rich people. Let's say if let's say Abu Dhabi is paying me financially aid. They have authority over me, like I have no right for myself. I have to obey. Men are stronger. Yes, all that there is. Some men are stronger than women. It depends. There's feminine power, there's emotional, powerful spirituality, which has no power in the sense that in this material sense, you would say if you bring a saint and you bring a machine what do you call that? You know, which machine has more power than the saint? So apparently, yes. But can you say there is the machine has more power, so it rules the world? Materialism has more power. Can you say America has to be on the head because it is the superpower right now? This is how God has made it. Now tell me, America should be ruling over Muslims, every one of you. You are to obey America, right? If you come like this, your reason is feeble, lame in body and mind. Men are stronger in body and mind on average. Yes. So, America is now the superpower, number one in the world. What are you getting at? That America should decide our destinies and we should we should obey whatever comes from America, whatever they say, we need to obey them. America is now used to give aid to Pakistan and all this. So everything America tells us we're supposed to obey. Pakistanis are supposed to obey America. If you bring it like this, right, it's wrong. We will surely remove, what's this? Where's that? The Lord answered, 195, right? I will not suffer the work. It is 195. So, each of you, female or male, among you. So those who Doesn't say that. Yes, yes, in everything, but what? In what one thing we are equal? So you mean to say that the big fish can eat the small fish? Could women fight in the first line in wars? No, that is for men, and that's how God made it. Of course, God made it like this, but would God ask women can be nurses? In Ismailism, we were told that women were nurses during wars, right? I'm not going there. Now tell me here, right? Yes, women cannot fight. They're not allowed to fight in Islam, but they can. Joan of Arc fought. She led the army. You see, if you tell the woman that you are powerless, you're less than man, you're less than man, what about witness? Okay, now you've done the power thingy biologically. So, what about witness? So, there is inequality, right? And whoever is the most powerful, we need to obey, right? However, America needs to be kind with us. Something America has missed in, you would say. Let me help you. So you would say, America has missed this. It needs to be kind with us. Because in Surah Nisa 19, the men, so live fair, kind. Yeah. Be kind, be fair. America, you're more powerful than us. Be kind, be fair. We need to obey you. So there is inequality in Islam, right? There is inequality in Islam, right? I mean, Allah has to accept that. Biologically, men and women are different. There's inequality or difference. In some men are, in some things, women are above men. Wasn't there a Quran ayat? Okay, I'm trying to. Let's see, this, when I was a Shia, some of you superior to others. Yes, there's superiority also. Islam accepts. And do not wish for that by which Allah has made some of you exceed others. For men in a share of what they have earned, and for women is a share. Sorry, for men is a share of what they have earned, and for women is a share of what they have earned. And ask Allah of His bounty. Indeed, Allah is ever of all things knowing. But do you think this beating in the end, like a woman cannot beat a husband, right? A man who is disobedient or bad mannered. But, right, if they fear violence from their husbands, they cannot strike them back. After having spoken to them, after having so because we are unequal biologically. Salahuddin, please, I understand that we are unequal biologically. Please, you are making a mockery of yourself here. Human rights, violations of human rights in Islam. Again and again, you don't have to. Okay, you can repeat yourself as much as you like. I did not disagree with you. I say man is biologically there is, shall I say unequal or shall I say different? Unequal. Okay, you want me to say unequal? You want me to go with you and say a word and say unequal? But can a woman have this fear that her husband could be violent against her Muslim husband? Can she take action against the violent behavior of her Muslim husband? Would Iran courts, Saudi Arabian courts, Muslim Sharia courts allow that? What if a woman fears that her husband is controlling her and is unfaithful to her? What if she fears the strength, power? Yes? But the Quran ayat doesn't say that, right? Right? And how many witnesses will she have to bring against her husband? Could she get into trouble very easily than a man if she brings the case and she can't find 4 witnesses? Because she in witnesses half of man. But even if she brings her case in the court, Surah Nisa ayat 1 to 8. If a woman fears indifference or neglect from her husband, there is no blame on either of them if they seek fair settlement, which is best. Thank you for reminding me of this verse. You see here the inequality. Surah Nisa ayat, beating, she has to seek fair settlement. Right? Both of them, if they seek fair settlement. Now, what if the husband says, don't you dare go to court? I'm not allowing you. There is no blame on either of them if they seek fair settlement. Which is best? If a woman fears indifference or neglect from her husband, there is no blame. I already know this ayat, Salahuddin. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, you would say, yes. So now, look at this ayat. Look at it. Can a woman... Wait a minute. It says, pay attention to what it actually is saying here. If a woman fears... If a woman fears from her husband ill conduct or desertion, desertion, deserting her, and ill conduct, then there is no sin on both of them. You see, it brings both of them here. Not alone. Woman alone. Going to the court. How are the wordings? But of course the tafsirs and all, you can say, look at the wordings first of these Quran ayats. Good you came here. Right? I said, can a woman bring her case if she fears ill conduct and desertion, things like that, from her husband, violence? What does God say here? Then there is no sin on both of them. He's bringing both. What? Violence But they may make terms of peace. Terms of peace. No punishment. Not even hitting. The court, another Muslim you punish the man. Punish the man. Sorry, I'm getting a little. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Do you see the wordings? He's violent. He has beat her up. So there's no sin on both of them to make peace. Come to terms of peaceful agreement, reconciliation. Right? Oh, wallah. Wah, wah, wah. What kind of disobedience of the woman against the man who is her maintainer? How you discipline her? Strike her in the end. Here, Allah is saying, peaceful reconciliation, both of you. There's no blame on both of you if you seek peaceful reconciliation. Peaceful reconciliation. The man goes scot-free. Unless you have added some clauses from the hadiths of Prophet Muhammad and all this. But this ayat in itself, for the woman who her husband has been ill-treating her, it's not fair. Compensation, things like that. This ayat in itself is not fair. If a man fears disobedience and she keeps disobeying, after the 3 conditions are met, he can hit her. Seek peaceful reconciliation. Come to peaceful terms. Man is more powerful. You just said it. How is Allah allowing this in the first place? You say nip it in the bud. Shia say why zina, these rules of, lashes and all gambling, going to parties. It leads you to adultery, fornication. Nip it in the bud. But no. Look at this here. Surah Nisa ayat 128. That which Salah ad-Din thinks now led me to this ayat. I've already looked at this ayat. Because I wasn't only looking at what the Christian, against Islam. I came to this ayat. Sharmi, I closed it. I said, what the hell? Let them say. Bring that ayat of men being maintainers of women. There is no blame on them if they seek peaceful reconciliation. Unless now the Sharia court or have brought in the hadiths that what in ill conduct, what or desertion, what punishment we are supposed to give this husband. But the ayat is less than that ayat against disobedience of women against men. You see how it's put? Zulm ho raha tha. Zulm happening with the woman. But seek peaceful reconciliation. There's no blame. on you both, that they make terms of peace between themselves. A reconciliation is best, khairan, best. Oh, it is saving the men and are swayed the souls by greed. But if you do good, then fear. Do good. Woman is always told to do good. Man against the woman here, yes, if you do good, forgive your opponents, those who oppose you. But those who oppose the Prophet, find them and kill them. Break their houses. You see how unfair these two verses are. Take that verse, take this verse, Surah Nisa. Yeah, and do not wish for that by which Allah has made some of you exceed others. For men is a share of what they have earned, and for women is a share of what they have earned. Right? No. The one beating of the wives, where did I? In the end. Their conditions, I don't deny the conditions. How many conditions are there? Obey you. So if they obey you, then, and they seek means, you are right. Salahuddin says. Oh, thank you. You know, this is not for me being right, Salahuddin. This is for fairness and justice, please. So, God help me. Please don't say I am right. Say what I'm pointing to is right. Right? Oh, thank you. This could save so many women in Islam. I cannot tell you. This is not for me. I don't have a husband. I didn't have a father who beat me up all the time, or just for namaz once, with a stick and for clothes wearing. So I didn't have a violent father. This is not for me. I'm the eldest. My brothers would be scared of me. You know? I can be very dominating. You see, but this is for the Muslim women. So please see this. Don't say I am right, Salahuddin. Say the pointings, what I've pointed to, are right? So now you see this, right? I've taken a screenshot of this. See, women's rights. This, okay? Thank you very much, brother. God bless you. You know what I want for Muslim women, girls, to see this and they leave this fake Allah. Prophet Muhammad false. Find better ways. Thank you so much. I need a break. Sorry, Salahuddin. I excuse myself now. Please see this. This not I write. It's what I pointing to. The rights of women. Human rights. Right? Okay? Understand? Thank you very much. Brother, wish you all the best. Your women too. Your daughters, your country, women, girls. Rights, human rights. Fairness, justice. Their voices be heard. And they be given justice. So as soon as you agree, we can, clean our side. Go for work now on human rights and abolish these laws, Muslim laws, against women. Thank you very much, so much. God bless you so much. These women will pray for you from the heart. once, what you have. So you're not, because, I want you to see. And why? It's not that you're coming, we can abolish these laws. So if one person I save, it means I've saved, now one man I save, Muslim man, I save your women, your daughters, your sisters. And you can now come to a more moderate, more reasonable, justified laws and rules. Together as family members, you can sit with your daughter, understanding, give her understanding, instead of control and fear and this. She, you can talk to her, come down to the level, or you not need to come down now. You are both equal. Right? Respect you will earn. You will earn deeply, heartfelt respect from your daughter, from your sister. Right? Thank you so much. I cannot say how grateful I am today for this. Because we win women's rights and abolish Muslim laws. Thank you. I have to take a break for sure.